Using a flip cam, a how-to guide created by Lisa Greason. Let's identify the parts. You have the lens and the microphone, and you want to be careful not to cover these with your hand or fingers while recording. Then you have the sides. On one side you have the power on-off push button, and on the other side you have a slider button that allows you to release the USB port so you can charge or transfer videos to a computer. On the back of the flip cam you have the play button, the delete button, and a red button for starting or stopping recording. You also have a plus and minus button that allows you to adjust the zoom as well as the volume when playing back the videos. And then you have left and right buttons that allow you to move through previous recordings. On the bottom of the flip cam you have a connection for a tripod mount and an HDMI port, which allows you to watch the videos directly on your HD TV. It's suggested that you use a tripod to steady the camera for the best shots. Okay, so instead of having boring PowerPoints, we can spice them up by adding animations. The animations are found on the Animations tab, and I'm using PowerPoint 2010. As you can see, the options here are shaded. That's just until you select an item on a slide to add an animation to. And it really helps to have the animation turned on. And there's this button here on the Animations tab for the animation pane that will collapse or expand the animation pane. And this is real helpful to have opened when you're working with animations. So we're going to start by adding an animation to the picture. When we go select it, now the animations are available. When we look at the other options, we can see there are entrance animations, emphasis animations, exit animations, and a fourth category of motion paths. And then there are additional options for all four categories down here at the bottom by selecting at the bottom. We'll just go with the basic selections here. So for the picture, we'll do a float in animation, and you can see it floating in there. But in this case, it would be nice for it to float in from above instead of below. So we can go to the effect options and tell it to float down instead of float up. So it's nice that you can tweak them a little bit as well. So we'll add animation now to the text using a flip cam. Let's get a different animation. How about a wipe? And then let's look at the effect options on that. So the wipe happened from the bottom up. We can change the direction from left to right or from top down. So we'll just go with top down to stay with the same direction. And then our third item, the text box at the bottom, we'll also add an additional animation to. How about random bars? And then again, effect options, we can change that from horizontal to vertical. We'll just leave it on horizontal. And once you've added your animations to all the objects, you do have a play button in the animation pane that will show them to you in consecutive order. Now, the way it's set up by default is when you add your animations and then you go to actually present your presentation in present mode, you would have to click with the mouse to make each one of these animations happen. That can be distracting for both the presenter and the audience as well. So let's set these to happen automatically. We can do that through the animation pane or up at the top on the ribbon. So basically we would just select the animation and either change up here on the ribbon, or in the animation pane we can select the drop down arrow. And the other two options are start with previous or start after previous. And previous is just referring to the previous event. So in this case, the previous event would just be the slide coming up onto the screen. So we'll set this to start after previous, and then the next two items as well will set to start after previous. And now when you go in to actually present, you don't have to click with the mouse for each three times for the three different animations to happen. They will happen consecutively automatically. And when you go to practice before you actually complete your presentation, you want to make sure that the animation timing works well. You can, if not, you can tweak that. You have a duration and a delay that can be applied. As I click on the different timings in the animation pane, you can see the duration changes, and none of them have a delay, but you could always add a delay and change the duration if you wanted to. You can also add a sound effect to animations. There's no button on the ribbon up here at the top to do that, but you can do it through the animation pane. So I'm going to add an applause sound effect to the picture entering the screen. So by selecting that, I'm going to click the drop down arrow and go down to Effect Options, and right here is a place to add sound. So there's some defaults that are in here already that came with PowerPoint, so I'm going to go with the applause. You can see a couple of waves here that I've actually added in manually. So if you don't like what you see here, you can get your own sound effects and import them in. But I'll just go with the default PowerPoint applause. And that looks pretty good. Sometimes folks like to add additional case, you got to be careful, because if I want to add an additional animation to these and I go to the animation gallery and select one here, it's going to actually change it. So to do additional animation, you have to be sure to go to the Add Animation button. So let's add an exit animation to all of these. So I'm holding Shift down, selecting all three items at once. We're going to go to Add Animation button down to Exit Effects, and we will pick one there. We'll just go with Fly Out here, and you can see everything flies out towards the bottom. So now as you play that, you've got the entrances and the sound effect and then the exit. So again, on the timing, you've got to be careful with that, because all of these are going to happen automatically. That is, once I get this set to start after previous. And then this one will go with previous, and this one will go with previous, so that all three exit animations will still occur all at once. So the timing, perhaps that would be a little fast for being able to just give the introduction to this PowerPoint. So in that case, again, we can go to either duration or add on a delay. So we'll just add on a delay to the first exit animation, and since the others happen with it, it probably wouldn't hurt to add a delay to them as well. That was a little bit better, but again, you can always change the duration as well, add more time in, or throw in a delay. But that's how you add animations to spice up your PowerPoint and give the viewer some little more interesting presentation.